Hi everyone, Susan here. We're on vlog 11 and we're gonna get started next. A quick note too to add is I'm in the market for a new industrial iron and a new industrial sewing machine. I had to get rid of the other industrial machine. I've had it for like 25-30 years and it had issues, and I have a small space. So I'm trying to find an industrial machine that would work in a small space. I do want an industrial machine, though I do not want a home sewing machine, but I might be open to it. If you guys have any suggestions that I might not be aware of that you might want me to check out or even do a review on, please let me know in the comments below. And the iron, a jug that's connected to it so you have the water and the steam. I am sort of, checking out and seeing the ones that might be connected to the iron. If you have a good suggestion of one that doesn't leak and that is good for me in my small space, let me know in the comments section below, because I think it would be kind of cool to incorporate that into the other vlogs that are coming up next. All right, let's get back to this project. Okay, before I get on the flat, some things have to kind of be worked out with this dress. We're still working on the understructure of the dress, and each one of these panels that we draped in vlog 10, please watch vlog 10 so it makes sense when you're seeing this vlog, is going to house one of the lace layers, right? We're going to have each one of these layers inside each one of these seams, and it's going to be that way. So this understructure, I'm going to do it, I think, in this stretch. Put as much ease as I thought, but I still think I'm going to need to give it about 1/4 of an inch on the waistline and on the hips, meaning 1/4 of an inch on this side, 1/4 of an inch on this side, and as well as the back 1/4 of an inch. That means each side will be about 1/2 of an inch more on this dress. That'll give 1 inch circumference around the body extra for sewing in the layers and working out this design. So I think it's going to be at least the minimum of what I'm going to need. All right, let's do that now on the flat so I can show you truing it and adding the seam allowance and ease. Okay, let's do that next. Here I am on the flat. We're going to true these pieces, and that again is using a straight edge or curved edge to follow the majority of the markings, okay? And we're just going to take each one of these pieces. I'm just going to show you one right now so you can get an idea. And we're just going to take the majority of those dots, take our straight edge or our curved edge. I'm just going to do that right now. I'm just moving the majority of the dots like that. And then I'm going to mark that in pencil, again with the bottom as well. I'm just going to move that ruler till it hits the majority of those markings like that. And then I'm going to fill in that line as well as the hip here. Okay, we talked about now, I'm going to do that to each piece, and then we talked about adding 1/4 of an inch from the side seam, right, on that. That's going to be our ease. So I'm just going to add 1/4 of an inch all the way down like that. That is going to be my new side seam. I'm going to straighten it out here to follow that line like that. I'm also going to check periodically with these to make sure that they're the same width, because you want that to be pretty much the same width, right? You want to make sure that's all correct. And then I'm going to add my 1/2 an inch seam allowance. So 1/2 an inch above on each, all around this panel like this. We're going to just put 1/2 an inch seam allowance, 1/2 an inch on the new side seam. Okay, that's the new side seam here, right? And then 1/2 an inch on the bottom of that. And we're just going to do that to each piece just like this. I'm just marking in that 1/2 an inch, and once we get that, we're going to cut each piece out like that. And as soon as I do that with all the pieces, I will be back. So here I am with 7. The 7 is going to be a little tricky because we want to make sure that this dress doesn't hike up underneath. So we only had the markings for the top part of it, right? So I'm going to follow those first, and I'm just going to go this way because that's what it should be doing, and do that like that. And this would be the side seam here. We said we're just going to have to add, remember, for the length, but we were going to add like 3 inches. I think I want to add, so let me just go ahead and add 4 inches to the bottom of this one, like that, because we're probably going to have to add lining to this. So I'm just going to go do that, like that. And then we're going to follow those marks and put that line in like this. I'm going to make this a straighter line over here. And we're still adding the 1/4 of an inch on the side. That's the ease for the side of the skirt. Then we're going to put in our seam allowance, which is going to be 1/2 of an inch here, 1/2 of an inch beyond this piece here. Just going to do the same thing in the back, and I'll be right back. Just to show you real quick that the back panels were a little bit more curved because we have the butt and we have the closeness of the waist. I'm using my French curve more than I'm using my hip curve, but we're still going to do the same thing. We're still going to put on the side panel like this. We're still going to add our 1/4 of an inch for ease on the panels, and then we're going to add the seam allowance all the way around that curved lines like that, and on the new side seam line just like that, and then we're going to cut it out. Okay, so I'm just going to add that in, all the seam allowance just like that with my rulers. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut it out, and I'm going to do that for the entire panels, all 7 of them on the back, and I'll be right back. Okay, here are all the panels, the front sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They've been trued, they've added seam allowance and the ease, and we're going to stop there on this vlog, and we're going to continue it on in vlog 12. But thank you so much for watching this vlog. If you loved it, give me a thumbs up, give me a comment. I love your feedback, and subscribe. Okay, we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.